This is us. This is us. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 2025 Youth Advocates of the Year Awards. How about another round of applause for our talented young performers from the Center Stage Academy of the Arts. To our distinguished guests, honorees, sponsors, partners, and friends, it's truly a privilege to be with you here tonight. Thank you from all of us at the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids and the Global Health Advocacy Incubator. Now, more than ever, we are so grateful to come together as a community, strong, steadfast, and united in our commitment to public health, and resolute in our mission to create a healthier and more equitable future for all. Tonight, I'm reminded of a saying that often guides our advocacy work. Change rarely comes as a tidal wave. It starts as a ripple from a single drop of courage. That first courageous drop, the advocate who refuses to give up. A young leader who raises his or her voice to speak truth to power. The policymaker who dares to defy conventional wisdom. Each just one act, just one drop, just one ripple, and then another, until eventually it produces a wave with intention and fortitude that we have a tidal wave. As I look across the room, I'm filled with gratitude and optimism. We gather at an extraordinarily challenging time for public health. There's no way to say it any other way than that. But even in the face of adversity and unrelenting foes like the tobacco industry or the food and beverage industry, we have made progress, often in really unexpected places. Just last month, the United States Supreme Court unanimously, did you hear that word? Unanimously, agreed to uphold FDA's marketing denials for flavored e-cigarettes, affirming the FDA's efforts to keep millions of flavored products off the market and away from our kids. In Indiana, we just helped a coalition raise the tobacco tax by $2. Let's hear for advocates in Indiana who fought for over 10 years to get it done. In Indonesia, after decades of advocacy, we worked with local partners to pass strong tobacco control regulations, and tonight, our Global Young Ambassador of the Year, Monique Magahamama Hundra, rallied young people in Indonesia to support these regulations. And let me tell you, young people were the absolute center of this movement. A huge accomplishment for a country where big tobacco has blocked progress for literally decades. So I can't wait for you to meet our honoree tonight, Monique. In Madagascar, one of the most resource-rich but yet poorest countries in the world, our Global Health Advocacy Incubator worked with local partners to advocate for increased spending to meet its vaccination targets. And with this increased investment, more children will be vaccinated because that is the science. Tonight, we are particularly pleased to celebrate the extraordinary work of our champion awardee and recipient, Navajo Nation. The Aries Life Coalition persevered for over 13 years to pass landmark policies to reduce the use of commercial tobacco products and protect the health of the Navajo people. We will hear tonight from Dr. Patricia Nez Henderson, co-founder of the coalition and an unwavering advocate for the health of indigenous communities, and from Delegate Carl Slater, a champion for public health of the Navajo Nation Council. You will see here tonight our power lies in our collective resolve. When the challenges grow, we rise up to meet them. And tonight we stand together, not just to celebrate progress, but to reaffirm our commitment to advancing our cause. Tonight we draw purpose from our mission and our values, our belief that health is a fundamental human right, and every person, everywhere, deserves the chance to lead a long and healthy life. Tonight, we draw inspiration from young people who teach us every day that change cannot happen without heart and grit. Our Barry Fisk National Advocate of the Year, Karina Chen, exemplifies that. Karina successfully advocated for the Prevention of Youth Access for Tobacco Act, and she worked with a partner, the American Cancer Society, to help that law pass another law that expanded access to cancer and screenings and targeted treatment programs in Oklahoma. Did you hear me? Oklahoma. That's heart, that's grit. We need these young leaders, their creativity, their fearlessness to renew, reimagine, and rebuild public health for the future. Our work and our progress wouldn't be possible without them. Their knees stand firm when some of our own knees waver. They are courageous when some of us are less so. And so we are so grateful to have their energy and their ingenuity in providing fuel for the work that we do. Our work and our progress wouldn't be possible without the support of everyone here tonight. We're so grateful to our sponsors, our friends, and our partners. And I want to recognize a phenomenal board of directors chaired by a phenomenal chair, Bill Novelli. And our amazing staff and team that work hard every day despite the obstacles that we face. And I would be remiss without acknowledging the person who actually brought me here, our former president, Matt Myers. The champion's long-standing president and my friend. And in the tradition of grit and resolve, I want to introduce you to the newest member of our team, someone many of you may know, Dr. Brian King, our new Executive Vice President for Global Programs, for U.S. programs. In our work at the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids and the Global Health Advocacy Incubator, we fight government indifference and industry misinformation, so we are accustomed to a challenge, and we do not back away from it. We know how to overcome them. We all here are each one drop that has the potential to ripple, one drop that leads to a tidal wave. So, without further ado, let's meet our honorees, starting with our Global Young Ambassador of the Year. Please watch the screen.
Good evening. I'm Smita Barua, Executive Vice President for Global Tobacco Control Programs. I joined Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids last summer, and I'm so excited to be here tonight at my first Youth Advocates of the Year Awards. For nearly 30 years, we've honored youth advocates who stand up to the tobacco industry, speak truth to power, and strive to build a tobacco-free generation. Through our Young Global Ambassadors program, we've seen that the spirit of leadership knows no borders. Tonight, I'm proud to honor a fearless young leader who is setting an example for his peers around the world. He is Manik Magarna Mahendra of Indonesia, our Global Ambassador of the Year. Manik is a born advocate. In addition to standing up to the tobacco industry, Manik led student protests in the streets of Jakarta to push for social reform. He said at the time, we want the future to be better than today. To make that future better, Manik and other Indonesian youth founded the Indonesian Youth Council for Tactical Changes. They were tactical changes to give young people a meaningful role in shaping government policy. Manik and his youth council have been powerful voices for tobacco control in Indonesia, a country with one of the highest smoking rates in the world. They were key partners with the Ministry of Health in developing new regulations that restrict tobacco advertising, promotion, and sponsorships. This is a huge accomplishment in Indonesia, where cigarette marketing is truly everywhere, on television and social media, in cinema, and even near schools and playgrounds. I've had the privilege of seeing Manik in action. I've watched him lead with clarity, with heart, and an unwavering belief in the power of young people. If you want to see for yourself, you should go follow him on Instagram, where he has 200,000 followers. I am absolutely thrilled to present Manik Magarna Mahendra of Indonesia, the 2025 Global Young Ambassador of the Year Award.
Oh. Thank you, Smita. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Manik Margana Mahendra from Indonesia. I am deeply honored to receive the Global Young Ambassador Award. Thank you, Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids. And I am especially honored to have representatives from the Indonesian Embassy here tonight as well. Pak Sade Bimantara, thank you very much. So, this award isn't just for me. This is for the generations who lead the path for tobacco control in Indonesia. It is for my colleagues on the Indonesian Youth Council for Tactical Changes, and of course, our peers who keep fighting every day, and for the young voices racing to carry the torch forward. This is ours. Well, 9 years ago, I stood with my friends at Universitas Indonesia protesting a tobacco industry exhibition. We almost went to jail. Yes, jail. But that moment changed everything. It showed me that courage can spark change, and I have been in the fight ever since. This cause is no longer political. It is personal. My father was a heavy smoker. 3 years ago, he had a stroke, tied 2 years of tobacco use. Today, he can't walk like he used to, and worse, he struggles to speak. I miss his voice, his laughter, his stories. But that pain is not unique. In Indonesia, over 70% of adult men smoke. Tobacco is everywhere, and it is stealing our loved ones, even those who never pick up a cigarette. Our families, our children are still paying the price. But we are not powerless. The recent passing of a strong government regulation on tobacco control proves that together we can win. So we will keep going and keep pushing. Because when history looks back, it will remember We stood for help. We stood for justice. So to everyone in this room, thank you very much. Because in Indonesia, we say, kita telah berjuang. Sebaik-baiknya, sehormat-hormatnya. We have fought as best as we could, as honorably as we should. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Good evening. I'm Qian Geng, Director of the China and Vietnam program at the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids. I'm deeply honored to present this year's Judy Wilkenfeld Award for International Tobacco Control Excellence. Before I do so, I'm delighted to see Judy's family are here with us tonight. And please stand up, be recognized. Thank you. Thank you. This year's honoree is someone I have had the privilege of learning from and working alongside for years. Ms. Dinh Thi Tu Thuy from Vietnam. Ms. Thuy is the Deputy Director for the Legislation Department at the Ministry of Health of Vietnam. She has demonstrated unwavering commitment to inclusive and effective advocacy. She embodies all that this award stands for. She has built a strong alliance across government and civil society and stood firm against the tobacco industry's interference. She is now championing a tobacco tax increase and other comprehensive tobacco control policies in Vietnam. She was instrumental in a landmark policy win last November, a policy that bans e-cigarettes and all other emerging tobacco products to protect the health of people in Vietnam, especially young people. Ms. Thuy's energy, integrity, and vision have inspired her colleagues and the broader public health community. She represents the very spirit of this award, a leader who unites, mentors, and drives meaningful change each day. It is my pleasure and a personal joy to introduce Ms. Thuy as the 2025 recipient of the Judy Wilkenfeld Award. Thank you, Ms. Thuy.
Hello everybody. Là một lãnh đạo của vụ pháp chế Bộ Y tế Việt Nam, tôi vô cùng vinh dự được có mặt tại đây ngày hôm nay. Tôi xin thay mặt Bộ Y tế cùng các đồng nghiệp, các đối tác luôn đồng hành và hỗ trợ chúng tôi trong quá trình đấu tranh nhằm tiến tới việc cấm hoàn toàn các sản phẩm thuốc lá mới, thuốc lá điện tử và thuốc lá nung nóng. 3 năm trước, con gái của tôi khi đó 15 tuổi có hỏi tôi, mẹ ơi, các bạn con hút thuốc lá điện tử thì có hại không ạ? Câu hỏi đó khiến cho tôi không khỏi trăn trở. Là một người mẹ, tôi rất lo lắng, không chỉ cho con mình mà còn cho cả một thế hệ thanh niên đang bị các sản phẩm thuốc lá mới lôi kéo và dụ dỗ. Khoảnh khắc đó tôi hiểu rằng mình cần phải hành động, không chỉ với vai trò của người mẹ trong gia đình mà còn là một người làm công tác quản lý của nhà nước trong ngành y tế. tôi đã cùng các đồng nghiệp và tổ chức chiến dịch vì trẻ em không khói thuốc nỗ lực hết mình để thúc đẩy các chính sách mạnh mẽ, bảo vệ cộng đồng, đặc biệt là thế hệ trẻ Việt Nam trước mối đe dọa từ các sản phẩm thuốc lá mới. Giải thưởng này ghi nhận cho sự nỗ lực không ngừng của chúng tôi trong việc bảo vệ sức khỏe cho người dân Việt Nam, đặc biệt là thế hệ trẻ. Mặc dù hiện nay Quốc hội Việt Nam đã ban hành quy định cấm các sản phẩm thuốc lá thế hệ mới, tuy nhiên, việc đưa chính sách này vào trong thực tiễn vẫn là một thách thức đối với chúng tôi. Đây là một trọng trách mới và chúng tôi cũng thấy rằng cần phải cố gắng nỗ lực hơn nữa để xứng đáng với giải thưởng cao quý này. Tôi xin gửi lời chân thành cảm ơn đến tổ chức chiến dịch vì trẻ em không khói thuốc vì đã đồng hành và hỗ trợ bền bỉ cùng với chúng tôi suốt trong thời gian qua. Chính sự hỗ trợ và đóng góp quan trọng của Chính phủ và Quốc hội đã đưa ra những quyết sách mạnh mẽ trong việc phòng chống tác hại của thuốc lá. Tôi tin tưởng, hy vọng rằng trong thời gian tới, sự phối hợp chặt chẽ này sẽ tiếp tục đóng góp tích cực vào chiến lược quốc gia về phòng chống tác hại thuốc lá vì một tương lai không khói thuốc cho các thế hệ mai sau của Việt Nam. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Vandana Shah, Vice President of Health System Strengthening at the Global Health Advocacy Incubator. Let me take you on a journey to Kano State, Nigeria, exactly 3 years ago. There was an outbreak of bird flu, and poultry farmer Mustafa was losing 500 chickens a day. Within 3 days, he had lost his entire flock. We now move south to the Nigerian capital, Abuja, where a young man named Damilola was working tirelessly, mobilizing media, policymakers, voices like poultry farmer Mustafa to get the national government to pass a health security bill and to fund and build the health security system needed to keep his country safe. Damilola is a young man powered by purpose, relentless energy, and just the right amount of coffee. But beneath the coffee buzz is a mind and a heart, pushing, lobbying, drafting, convincing. And thanks to his advocacy, the funding for health security more than doubled. Nigeria now has a stronger health security system with adequate budget to respond quickly to health crises, from COVID-19 to bird flu and every other health crisis in between. Fast forward to Kano State in March 2025. There is a new bird flu epidemic. Sounds familiar? But thanks to the improved surveillance and reporting system, Mustafa and his fellow farmers have not lost any chickens. The government was able to trace the case to a very specific location and stop the spread. So today, let's celebrate a change-making, system-shaking warrior for public health, Damilola. We need young leaders like him all over the world to mind our chickens and our health security, including right here in the United States of America. It is my great honor to introduce our 2025 Global Health Advocacy Changemaker, Adimueva Damilola.
Wow. Thank you. And good evening, everyone. First off, I want to say a huge thank you to the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids, the Global Health Advocacy Incubator, and every one of you special guests seated here tonight. Please make some noise for yourselves. Thank you very much. Being named the 2025 Global Health Advocacy Changemaker still doesn't feel real at all. Like, I keep checking the program to see, do you guys really mean me? But this award is not only for me. It is also for my brilliant team at LISDEL, the Legislative Initiative for Sustainable Development, and for every advocate and coalition working to make Nigeria's health system actually work, not just on paper, not just during emergencies, but every single day. Let me give you a quick story. Growing up in Nigeria, I have seen what happens when health systems don't work. I have seen what happens when resources don't reach the people who actually need them. And when policies are just paper and not practice. And this has made one thing very clear to me, that real change comes when we get into the room and we help shape the rules. So at LISDEL, we don't just highlight the problems, the challenges, and the gaps. We help to build capacity and bridge gaps. We help to co-create solutions. And I want to say tonight that advocacy isn't always glamorous. Sometimes it's Excel spreadsheets and reminding policymakers the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th, and the 10th time. And to let them know that, yes, health is still very important. And we keep going, we keep doing that because we believe we can achieve a Nigeria with a working health system. Tonight, I want to say special thanks to my leaders and my mentors, people like Mrs. Juliana Aribo Abude, the Executive Director of LISDEL, people like Professor Emmanuel Al-Hassan, the Country Coordinator of GHI in Nigeria. These have contributed, they have pushed me and inspired me to be who I am today. I also want to say special thanks to my family and my friends who remind me to close my computer and get some sleep, occasionally. And to every young person making noise for good, I want to tell you not to stop, because you don't need a title to be a change maker. All you need is the courage to start and to keep going. And to my fellow Nigerians, our Sorosoke spirit, our call to speak up is shaking things up. And trust me, we are not done yet. In Mandela's word, it always seems impossible until it's done. I want to thank every one of you tonight for believing in this work. Thank you so much for this great honor. And please, someone keep me away from the table behind. Or maybe you can restrict me to some plates of rice. Good evening, everyone, and enjoy your time.
Hello again. Now it is my privilege to present our highest honor, the Champion Award, to an incredibly deserving recipient, the Navajo Nation Air is Life Coalition. This coalition epitomizes the definition of perseverance Year after year, for more than a decade, the coalition worked tirelessly to educate Navajo leaders and communities about the dangers of commercial tobacco products and the strong policies needed to protect the health of the Navajo people. They steadily built trust and support among Navajo elders, young people, healers, elected leaders. It was patient, painstaking work, and it wasn't easy, they will tell you. The coalition suffered four legislative losses along the way, but they persisted. And after 13 years, they finally won. In 2021, the Navajo Nation leaders enacted the Air is Life Act, a historic law that prohibits the use of all commercial tobacco products in workplaces and public places in the Navajo Nation. What a victory. They didn't stop there. With a bit of wind at their sails, 3 years later, in November of 2024, the coalition worked with Navajo Nation leaders to raise taxes on cigarettes and other commercial tobacco products. These are two of the most effective policies to reduce tobacco use, as all of you in this room know. And the Navajo Nation enacted them in a span of just 3 years. But remember the 4 legislative losses that preceded this. That is why we honor Air is Life Coalition tonight, not just for the victories, but for the perseverance. The coalition's work is so important because Indigenous communities have high rates of commercial tobacco use and related diseases like cancer and heart disease. And they have long been targeted and exploited by the tobacco industry way too long. We're thrilled to be joined tonight by representatives of the Air is Life Coalition and the Navajo Nation. Dr. Patricia Nez Henderson is co-founder of the coalition and a proud member of the Navajo Nation, and a renowned scientific expert on the impact of commercial tobacco products on Indigenous communities. Delegate Carl Slater is a champion for public health on the Navajo Nation Council and was instrumental in passing these 2 laws. They exemplify partnership and commitment. Please join me in welcoming first Dr. Nez Henderson and Delegate Slater.
Yate, Shea Patricia Nez Henderson Dashajina, Zatlatin Shlo, Totsotni Bashishchin, Chenjakin Dashanala, Ashche Dashache, Da A Sando Amado Azail in Shle, Ado Shanat Ani, Kunet Nahiso Trani or Hen, Kiddish, Kut Dit A Kut Anha Hoka, Git Zayego by Henson. Shamaning the await it a thought chilly bad date in. Good evening, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here this evening. I've been here for the last 24 hours, and I've been looking for these glasses, so I found them, so I'm going to put them on. Actually, I can't even see with them. So hold on. Oh, thank you. Well, it is a pleasure. It is an honor to be here, everybody. And like I said, it's been a journey, a long journey. This work would not have been possible for so many of you that are in this room, from the American Non-Smokers' Rights, who started us off years ago, to the American Lung Association, American Heart, and now to Campaign Tobacco-Free Kids. I just want to say a huge thank you for all of you. You have been by our sides. You have not forgotten us on Navajo Nation. I just want to say a huge thank you. We do this work because we love our people. What I said in Navajo is that my mom used to say, we're doing this for the children that are going to be born tonight. And that term, that saying is so powerful for me as an Indigenous mother. and as a physician, as a professional healthcare provider, and I'm just so honored. What the tobacco industry has done they basically stole something that is very sacred to us as Indigenous people, a plant that is very sacred to us. Like for many Indigenous people, Navajo Nation, we use tobacco in our ceremonies. And when we're in the path of creating changes to create a healthier Navajo Nation, we had to work with our traditional healers on this. We could not have done this without them. And to them tonight, I just want to say thank you to them wherever they are in Navajo Nation. A huge thank you. So with these big wins that we've had over the past several years, we are changing the narrative. We're creating a place where our children can be safe again, away from products that are deadly, that are addictive. We're changing the narrative so that our children down the road, years and years from now, can look at us and say that we honor our tobacco. And that you, out there in the audience, wherever you're coming from, Vietnam, Indonesia, you can say that these plants actually are sacred, right? But what the industry has done is totally different, but this plant is sacred. And for you to honor it and helping us to reclaim it for ourselves as well. So tonight I just want to say a huge thank you. And I'm among friends, so I just feel really honored. And I've totally gone off script, which is okay. I tend to do that. But I'm just so grateful for everything that all of you have done in supporting the work that we have done. It was very, very difficult. There is one moment, I'll just share one moment with you, where it was probably, I'm not sure, it must have been like several nights before the big vote. And one of our delegates, who we work very closely with, decided to change his vote. I went downstairs, and I called him, and I called one of my team members. I was like, we're going to have a come to Jesus moment with this guy. But in that moment, it was like heart-to-heart conversation, right? I had to convince this delegate, your vote matters. And then that vote, we were able to change the narrative. And I just remember, and Delegate Slater probably remembers this, but I remember when that vote was finally coming out, there's like 3 people that opposed it. He was like, well, if these products are so bad for us, why don't we just take it off the reservation? I'm like, woohoo! So we've just had some amazing leaders in the audience. I have my daughter, my niece, my team member, my sidekick, Herschel, and the delegate from Navajo Nation, as well as delegates or dignitaries from the Navajo Nation that are here with us. And I'm just so happy, I'm so honored, and just congratulations to the young people. Gosh, you have your work cut out for you, and we're here to support you. So thank you so much, and I just want to introduce my leader from the Navajo Nation. He was there supporting us, and he'll just have a few words to say. So, Delegate Slater Shinatani.
I'm one of those hard-headed, politicians that they had to convince to support the legislation. But I just want to say a few things. Thank you very much to the campaign. Najani Dashache do Sontanet Dashanella Tanakana or Bistok Lish des Ahad Dent Nasha. She Carl Russell Slater Dashajane. So my name is Carl Slater. I'm Kia'ani, or the Towering House people, born for the Jewish people, the Star people, if you know the Magen David, the Star of David. So that's how I introduce myself. I was born in DC, but I moved back home to Navajo in northeastern Arizona. And I guess when I was a little kid, I knew Herschel, or at least he remembers me. He was trying to protect me from his sister, I guess. That's how he always introduces it. And we cultivated a relationship, and I got involved with the coalition. And he, I think, has drawn me into something that was natural and true to me. I come from medicine people, Hatathli, or medicine men. And we have something called Zithnato. That's our mountain smoke, our mountain tobacco. It's a completely different plant or set of plants than commercial tobacco that we've been trying to prevent our young people from getting involved with. And so through the predations of an industry that sees $1 over each one of your foreheads, right? And how much they can extract out of your lifetime from consuming their products, we're trying to re-educate our young people, get them reintegrated and reinvigorated into our traditional ways of life, and teaching them about the purifying aspects, the parts that connect. We say mountain smoke, right? The mountains are our leaders. We have 4 or 6 sacred mountains, and we aspire to emulate the aspects that they have, the strength, the resilience, but we have stories about how they didn't always agree. So even us on the council, those 3 who didn't agree with the 18 other of us, we have to figure out how to overcome those things. And I just want to recognize Chenoa and Herschel. I know Sierra's back home, Pete, and then all of our Navajo Nation representatives. Can you guys stand up real quick and can we give them a round of applause? Vince, Oriana, Sonali. These are people who I think a lot of folks in the room, maybe you work in DC and you haven't been at the community level in a while, but there's a lot of people here who work directly at the community level, right? The people who are ripping heaters outside of the chapter, well, you guys don't have chapter houses, but some little community center. I don't want to say getting in arguments with grandmas, but like, hey, maybe we shouldn't be encouraging our cowboys to dip and use, different oral tobaccos. Those are the people doing it day in and day out, taking the immense intelligence that they possess and all the support that we get from the campaign, the public health officials, the scientists, everyone here. This is a nonpartisan issue that goes from the very grassroots all the way up to the highest levels of governance in this country and commercial activity in this country. And Dr. Nez Henderson, you are an immense advocate for our people, and you are a Natani. You are a leader of our Navajo people. And I just want to say, Akehet, on behalf of President Nygren, Speaker Crystal and Curley, the Navajo Nation Council, all the government that I have the opportunity to represent. Akehet and Saga, thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nicolas Suarez. Before I joined the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids staff, I was a youth advocate honoree myself back in 2017. Tonight, I am thrilled to stand alongside Connor Lamb, our most recent Barry Fisk National Youth Advocate of the Year, who now serves on our board of directors. Welcome back, Connor. Together, we're proud to keep lifting up the next generation of bold, brilliant change makers. And if this year's honorees are any indication, our future is in safe hands. Tonight, I have the honor of presenting the 2025 Group Youth Advocates of the Year Award to the Ramsey County Student Action Team from Minnesota. They're a dedicated group of youth advocates united by a common mission: stopping big tobacco. They've been working at the state, at the local level to pass laws, ending the sale of flavored tobacco products. And they've made amazing progress. So join me in welcoming to the stage Milin, Clara, and Summer, 3 fierce advocates representing the Ramsey County Student Action Team.
Hi everyone, I'm Clara Seeley.
I am Summer Belfans.
And I'm Milin Nguyen.
and thank you to everyone who has made tonight so special. Together, we are proud to accept this award on behalf of the Ramsey County Student Action Team. We thank our fellow team members, friends, and family back home in Minnesota. This would not have been possible without all of you.
The tobacco industry continues to target youth with fun flavors, deceptive ads, and cheap prices, but we are pushing back. We're proud that our state of Minnesota has long been a leader in taking on tobacco. Now we're doing our part to help pass strong tobacco prevention measures at the school, local, and state levels. Change will happen if we continue to speak up and challenge the status quo. We will continue to do this with help from all our supporters.
Tonight, we've had the opportunity to meet incredible advocates from the United States and around the world. We are honored to stand alongside them. Thank you to everyone who has helped us lift our voices and advocate for change. Thank you for this honor and this amazing night. This means the world to us, and we are truly grateful for this recognition.
Hello everyone, I'm Connor Lamb, and I had the incredible honor of being named the 2024 Barry Fisk National Youth Advocate of the Year. When I received this award, it wasn't just a recognition of me individually. It was a reminder that young people can change the world when we use our voices, and more importantly, when we lead with courage and purpose. This award carries the power of a movement and opens doors for the next wave of youth leaders. Tonight, I am thrilled to open that door for someone who has used her voice, her creativity, and her compassion to achieve incredible impact. She has been a powerful advocate for tobacco prevention and education programs for her school district and statewide in Oklahoma. Without further ado, please welcome Karina Chen, the 2025 Barry Fisk National Youth Advocate of the Year. Don't do these golf claps, let's go.
First of all, I would like to say I am incredibly honored and humbled to receive this award. I am an advocate today because I have personally seen the pain and suffering tobacco has caused my family and so many others. And I only hope that I can spare those other families that heartbreak. The smell of cigarette smoke is one of my earliest childhood memories. My grandpa suffered from lung cancer, and I witnessed the toll of tobacco on his body and spirit. My father also smoked. He's one of the kindest, hardest working people I know. He doesn't speak much English, but a cigarette became his shared language with others in his community. Tonight, I thank him, because the strength he found to quit gave me the strength to become the advocate I am today. And I thank my mother, whose persistence helped him quit. And for that, she became the first anti-tobacco advocate I ever knew. As we all know, the tobacco industry doesn't care about people or the lives they destroy. They only care about profits. That's why I advocate. That's why I fight. That's why I joined the Youth Action for Health Leadership team, an initiative of the Oklahoma Tobacco Settlement Endowment Trust, because I want to create the first tobacco-free generation. That's why I have worked to educate my community, particularly immigrant families, about the dangers of tobacco and how to access cessation resources. This award is a legacy of a tireless advocate, Barry Fisk. I accept this award not just for myself, but for every young person who chooses truth over tobacco, hope over harm, just like Barry did. Through my advocacy, I honor my grandpa's memory and my parents' courage. My journey is fueled by the example of those who have overcome addiction, the resilience of families affected by tobacco, and my belief that collective action can lead to lasting change. Together, I truly believe we can make the dream of a tobacco-free generation a reality. Thank you.
To close this evening's celebration, please welcome once again Yolanda C. Richardson.
So third time's a charm. Congratulations, Karina, and congratulations to all the other incredible honorees tonight. I, like so many of you in this room, are inspired by all the work of the young people we heard from tonight. They are truly the ripples of change building into the powerful wave that I described earlier. Thank you again for all of our sponsors, our guests, for joining us this evening. I am beyond grateful. In partnership with all of you, I have no doubt that we will continue to make great progress. So this Sunday is Mother's Day, and my mother is here tonight. Mommy, stand. We are all some mother's child. We are all committed to what our parents have to teach us and convey to us. And we are all blessed in the knowledge that we can be a generation that takes on the lessons that should be not have to be passed on generation after generation, but end with us tonight by being that ripple of progress and of change. And I can't tell you how much I'm delighted to have now be this night ending my second year of service as president and CEO of the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids. And working with a room full of incredible advocates and friends and partners. And with that, we will release you to some dessert, some coffee, and continued community and conversation. Thank you all for joining us tonight.